Hey up guys, welcome back to Piggy Pen's Tube, where today, if you enjoyed this video that's on screen now, there's a good chance you're really going to enjoy this video, because today I'm going to play with gel sticks again, and it's going to be in real time, but it's not going to be hours and hours of film because we're working fast, free, loose and easy. Sounds like my youth does that. I'm just going to have a coffee first, and I just wanted to mention, especially for Holly at Hollyberry Colours, that this is a Bakewell tart. So you mentioned it in your sweets video, which was a fab video. If you've not seen it, go take a look. Holly, to cheer herself up in February, she decided to just have a flip through some of her favourite books that are filled with desserts and sweet treats. And there were a Bakewell tart anyway. She didn't know what a Bakewell tart was, so I wanted to show her one. I live about maybe an hour from Bakewell, maybe a little bit more, but me and my husband sometimes go on his motorbike to Bakewell, specifically for me to just go to the Bakewell bakery, the ye olde Bakewell tart shop, which is in Bakewell. And obviously that's where these tarts originated from. They are a short crust, sweet short crust pastry base. You will have cherry jam or raspberry sometimes, frangipane, and then on top you'll have some flaked almonds and a dusting of icing sugar or something like that. But sometimes you get them covered with icing, just a plain white icing, and a single glacé cherry in the middle. So that's when we call it a cherry Bakewell, when it has the cherry. And it all originates from the Bakewell tart. This one's from my supermarket, but it's absolutely delicious. So I'm going to have that as my mid-morning snack today with a nice cup of coffee. And once I've had this, we're going to get straight on with it. Not only am I playing with gel sticks for fun today, I'm going to show you what books I think gel sticks are brilliant for, especially if, like me, you want to have some fun with your colouring and you're not too worried about spending too much time on a page. I've got a selection of books that I think will be brilliant with your gel sticks. If you're looking at using them and maybe you haven't already, please let this video give you some confidence, because they're a fantastic supply. I've only used them once, but my God, it's the most fun I've had with colouring since I started. And that's the truth. That hour that I did that was the most fun I've probably had. And the result, I actually loved it. It's not for everybody. You'll know yourself if you've seen that video whether you enjoyed the end result or not, but I loved it. So let's see what we can achieve today. Right then, I'll have a brew, grab yourself a drink and maybe a snack, and enjoy the video. So this book is actually what I was going to work on today. I've got a page. This one, it's beautiful. I've got a buddy that's got a birthday later this month, and I've got just 3 days left until I need to have this finished, because we want to get it done for a birthday. So I'm excited about doing it, but I want to take my time on it. But I feel a little bit like I always do at this time of the month, like I need to rush. I feel like I just need to loosen up. So I thought, stop, put the brakes on, do something else this morning to have a bit of fun and just work a little bit less tightly. Is that a word? You know, because I want to do nice pencil shading on this page. So I just want something that I can be a bit freer with, just to kind of loosen up a little bit. So I am looking forward to getting to this page, but it's not a gel stick book for me, this one. 5 Bears and the Wonderful Town, I think. And that's my buddy page with Yaritza, so I will get to it, but let's have some fun today first of all. So that led me on to thinking about having some fun with gel sticks again. These are the gel sticks, and you can use them in all sorts of ways, but I like to work with them having a lot of fun, working quite free and loose, not stressing too much, because if you take a look at the end, it's like a kiddie's lipstick. It's just, you're not going to get that in any tight nooks and crannies. So, you know, I just like to work quite loosely with them. I've only ever done one page with them and had a little bit of a play, but they are wonderful. There's more information on that first video that I did on them, so check that out as well if you want. but they're Artist Mixed Media Gel Sticks, and they're water soluble as well. I don't think I'll use water with them today. Just, I think I'll just smoosh them around a little bit. But I definitely want to show you what kind of books I think are great for using them in. And I'll start by showing you the page that I completed last time, which was in this. So Camilla Derrico books are fantastic. I think they're probably my favourite choice for using these KingArt gel sticks. I think Shuttle Art do some as well. I first saw Jackie at Spare Room Studio using them, and I loved what she did. Watch her videos on gel sticks, on the Shuttle Art gel sticks. But yeah, this is the page that I completed, and I love it. And there's actually shimmery metallics in this set as well, so I really had a boatload of fun, and I think it took me about 45 minutes to an hour, something like that. So I'm excited to have that experience again today. Let's hope. And this is... Did I use a bit of pencil? I can't remember now. I'll just show you some like close-ups. So you can see that it's loose. There's no polished shading anywhere. I've just kind of added contrast by trying to get into the nooks and crannies as best I can with darker gel sticks. Left it pretty loose and open. So I absolutely loved it. Camilla Derrico pages are fantastic for this, and this is why, because... And it would work for grayscale as well. So if you're a grayscale fan, I think these gel sticks are going to be brilliant in grayscale. But the reason it works in the Camilla Derrico books, like on an image like this, is there's so much shading already. It doesn't matter if you don't put a lot of shading in, it's still going to look good. And that's what's happened to me here. I didn't do too much shading. But because Camilla's provided us with some... It's not so much shading, but it's just sketch work, and you can see here she's done a little bit of hatching. Let me just give you a closer look. She's done a little bit of hatching for us, so that gives us some shading, some contrast. So that these are perfect. Camilla Derrico illustrations, especially ones that have got a very sketchy vibe, are fantastic. So if you've got these and you haven't yet used them, start thinking, I would say, about books that you have that have a sketchy vibe. This one would work. This octopus would work great, because it just helps you along so much to just have a little bit of shading, that you don't have to worry about adding too much detail to that area. So this would be a fantastic book. Or I've got another Camilla one to show you shortly. I'm not going to spend too much time on these books because obviously we want to get to the colouring, don't we? But I'll just, you know, give you a little look through. That would be lovely as well. So Camilla Derrico is an option. Another example of sketchy illustrations. Look at that. Loads of shading in here. These would be perfect for gel sticks. This is where I saw Jackie first using them. In another Charles Santori book. This is Charles Santori's The Velveteen Rabbit colouring book. So he does the illustrations for the storybook, but he's brought out a colouring book. That would be perfect. So I'm going to get to this book with my gel sticks at some point, in probably this spring, I hope. So you can see exactly what I mean. There's already loads of shading. All you need to do is add colour, have loads of fun with it, and it'll be quick, fun, and you don't need to stress about it. You don't have to overthink anything. So this would be a perfect book. Any of Charles Santori's. I have this one in my collection, recently gifted to me by Sarah, thank you. And it's beautiful, and there isn't too much shading, but take a look at that. That would be perfect. There's enough shading there that I could just enjoy banging loads of colour on that, and it's such a cute image as well. This is Nachtschwärmer by Sarah Richter, which I think means night owls. I think. So yeah, pages that have a little bit of shading in. That first example was probably the best in here. That one's not bad. That's got quite a bit of shading in the hat again, so you could just apply colour and already you're halfway there. It doesn't have to be flat colour. You can add light and shade with these gel sticks, but you just need a larger area to work within, I think. It's not so easy. That would be good, because there's no tight nooks and crannies really, apart from round these fingers. So that would be, you know, a good image. So yeah, anything with extra shading or with a sketchy vibe. And sometimes Diane Defoe's books are a little bit like that. So I think, this is Sirens de Monde, but I think any of this Diane Defoe series that she does would be good, because they have a little bit of a sketchy vibe. Some images more so than others. But I do think gel sticks would be good with this type of illustration. That one would be quite nice. You could use all them underwater colours. The metallic-y, shimmery ones. So yeah, Diane Defoe books would be a good option. Please remember, I haven't tried all the different papers. These gel sticks, and with a little bit of water used, they didn't go through on Camilla d'Errico, so that's wonderful, but I haven't tried them on anything else. They shouldn't go through unless you're wetting them, and then I would just do a test. What about this? Anima de Bois by Paul Brun. And again, we have a little bit of shading. Not shading, it's sketching to indicate light and shade, isn't it? So some of them would be too intricate, but I saw a lovely flower. There we go. So I would attempt them on a page like this. I think they'd be really good, because you've got these this line work here that's going to add some shading for you, some depth. So that's quite a good example. Then in Leon's Journey, for the most part, I wouldn't use them on this type of illustration. However, there's one image in Leon's Journey that I love, and it's stippled. So Kanoko's chose to indicate depth and light and shade by like stippling in these flowers, which I think is wonderful. So colouring a flower with gel sticks, again, you could just add a flat colour to that and it'll look like it's done. And you could add 2 or 3 colours and do a little blend as well, as long as you can get in the nooks and crannies. But I think anything like that would work well with gel sticks, with the stippling. And of course, one book that would be brilliant would be Mouse Guard, because look at all the extra depth that David Peterson's given us with his illustration on these. Again, you could add flat colour and this is still going to look fantastic. Can you imagine? So definitely Mouse Guard would be a great book to use these in terms of the illustration style. Yeah, this would be really good. I might try this. Not today, but sometime. Yeah, wonderful. And you could have so much fun. I mean, that looks like, if you're trying to complete Mouse Guard, there's going to be pages that you want to do less than others. Why not take the opportunity to have fun with those pages? This is a bit like wallpaper, isn't it? But you could do something quite creative and fun with it, I think. Yes, so Mouse Guard would be ideal. I also have this fantastic book that I'm dying to get to, Dinosaurs by William Stout. Absolutely amazing this would be, I think, for gel sticks. Again, pick an image where you don't have too many nooks and crannies to get into. There's ways to get into your nooks and crannies, because don't forget these are water soluble, so you can take your little water brush end into a nook and cranny, can't you? I just like to be able to scroll with them, mostly. But this kind of illustration would be fantastic with gel sticks. So you're getting the idea, aren't you? I've got this book is new to me. I've just got it recently because I'm quite enjoying a bit of the old Camilla. I think, see, that'd be brilliant. And you know what? You could spend 45 minutes and most of that would be done. Or longer if you wanted to. Again, these would be perfect for that. Absolutely perfect. So yeah, can't say enough about the match between gel sticks and Camilla d'Errico is brilliant, especially because the paper's so fantastic. So they're the books that I wanted to show you. The one I am going to work in today is this little number, and it's a purchase I made for myself in I think it was November, and I've not coloured in it yet, but I've got a buddy in it with one of my best colouring friends, Peggy, who I buddied with when I first started colouring, and we still chat now and again when we can. But we've got a buddy coming up in this. So it's The Ink House by Rory Dobner. I think that's it, yep. And it's actually not a colouring book. I think it's a storybook. But it's beautiful. His illustrations are stunning. Just look at that. This is one talented artist. I can hear a dog barking. It's not Rocket. He's asleep. But look at that. There's flip-throughs of this book online if you want to check it out. It is a storybook, as I say, but you get some pages that already have colour printed in them. But people do colour in it, so I'm going to try gel sticks in it today. And I paid a lot of... This book isn't so easy to find now. It's not impossible, but it's not so easy to find. So I paid probably more than what it would have cost originally. Is there a price on it now? I paid, I think, £27 for it, because I really love... You know when people say like a coffee table book, a book you just like to look at for its imagery. This is what this is to me. I just love his illustration style. Look at that. See, he's just put flat colour on that. That's just light blue. But it looks, it's already halfway done because you've got this lovely cross-hatching that he's given us. So my buddy with Peggy is this page, The Cat in the Hats. And I just thought, I'm going to give it a go with these. I'm just going to have a boatload of fun. Give myself whatever time it takes me to do it. I think, you know, I'd like it to be under an hour for this video for you guys. But yeah, I don't know what it's going to do to the other side. But I really do believe, and it's personal choice from one colourist or collector to another, as to some people collect books and they want them to stay mint, and I understand why, because they're collectors and they're collecting the book for their collection, so they want it to stay in mint condition. But if you're just somebody who enjoys colouring like me, I love collecting books as well, but I do want to colour in them, so I'm just going to have bags of fun on this page. And you know what? So I paid a little bit more for the book than I normally would have done, but I'm going to get fun out of it. So, you know, I don't plan on selling it on, and it doesn't have to retain its value for me. As long as I get that value back in fun, I'm happy. So I'm about to have a good tenner's worth of fun today in it. I'll stop waffling anyway. I just want to mention I've also got these highlighters. These are Bible highlighters that I put on my Amazon wish list. And Vicky, my colouring friend Vicky, who I see a lot in the comments under my videos, she bought me these from my wish list around my birthday, so I really appreciate them. And the reason I wanted them is they had a nice kind of range of possible skin tones, so I also have them on hand as well, and they're working just the same way. These are gel Bible highlighters, lots of different brands you can get. Right then, shall we make a start? Let's have some fun. On hand I've got a couple of water brushes and some extra water, just in case I decide to go down the water soluble route. So they're on hand if I need them. Otherwise, I've just got all my gel pens, every single colour. I've got no idea about a palette actually, so let me think about that. I think I would like, I'd like to kind of see this. Do you see this blue here? I'm not going to have exactly that colour, but I think I'll go for a nice blue, complementary blue and orange today tone. So it might be more blues and tans with the pussycat as well. So this is my very professional not swatch sheet, and this is all the KingArt gel sticks, and these are my Bible highlighters here. So this is with water and without water. So yes, I'm just thinking about colour. I'm gonna start, I won't mind a little bit of the shimmery copper in the cat's fur. That might be quite sweet. So metal copper, light brown, and I'll give it some maybe some dark brown as well. Or shall I keep him on gingery side? There's a bit of metallic gold there. So much fun these, and a bit of Naples yellow maybe. So let's get, in fact I won't start with him, let's start with the rabbit. But I'm making my decisions anyway, I'm having a little think. Then I think I'd like to take some classy blues up through some of these gentlemen's hats. So this is, I'll probably use a nice dark blue on that. This is more of a casual hat, so we'll do like a tan straw hat. This is a, oh, what do they call these now? Tommy Cooper, a famous comedian, a British comedian from the like 60s and 70s, wore one. Fez, is it a fez? And then we have, this looks like a military hat or a steward's hat or something like that. And then we've got this one here. So yeah, I think I'm going to stick with, I'll just pick colours as I go, but I've got a lovely range of blues. And I've got some nice tan colours, this gold and some browns. So I'd like to stay in the realms of blues and oranges. This deep navy is nice. And maybe I need an accent colour. I quite like this pale turquoise because if you look, it's very close to this colour that runs throughout the book as well. So I think I'll be using some of that. I'm just going to work my way down. The rabbit, should we have a grey rabbit? He's a very dapper gentleman. And I think I'm definitely going to want to kind of like do some fuzzy, sort of faded out background. Should I do that first? No, I'm going to do that last. Right, am I actually recording? I am. Fantastic. Could do with a little bit of music really. Okay, so Mr. Rabbit. Right, metallic silver and grey. Where are you? Here we go. Metallic silver and grey. So I just want to put a little bit. And I'm not, do you know what? I'm good. I think sometimes you have to let go. I want this to be, I would like this to be good. It's a buddy that I've kind of, I need to be showing Peggy, you know, when it's done. But I also want to have fun with it. So I think I've got to, like for example, I'm recording this video, but I don't have to post it, do I? I don't have to publish it. You guys would know no different. And I think more and more in the Instagram age, we all need to think like that. I have to remind myself sometimes, you don't have to post everything you do. And I think once you realise that, it allows you just to experiment a little bit more and be a bit freer. So I'm not going to worry about how this turns out. I hope it turns out good. But Peggy is so cool, she will understand that I just want her to have fun. So if it comes out, if it comes out a bit crazy, you know, Peggy's not going to be bothered by that. So yeah, I'm being quite thoughtful at the moment about where I'm putting. This is the silver now. It's very crummy, you see. Can get quite crummy. But they all just smoosh in. So yeah, why not use a little bit of silver? And of course we can leave white if we want to leave some white as well. And you see with Rory's shading, Rory's cross-hatching and his extra shading that he's done as part of his sketch. You can use earbuds as well. I've got some actually. Shall I get them out and keep them on hand? Let's have a look in here. Different things you could use. You could maybe use, oh, I've got these, look. Let's see. So I've got these little things, really cheap off Amazon. I keep them as well. I use them with my soft pastels and just distress inks and stuff. And I keep them in this little tub. And eventually I'm going to get a small, you know, net bag like what my swimming goggles are in. You know, like a small bag that's made of net. I'll put them all in a net bag and put them in washing machine with a load of washing. and just give them a wash that way. Or you could stand at sink and wash them out. I don't really want to keep buying and disposing of them. I'd like to reuse them. But yeah, I think I'll keep one of them out today. I've also got some, I'm sorry because I'm getting closer to camera if it keeps going out of focus. Got a few of these that I could use. And ooh, I have one of these brushes that I could, you could use one of them if you want. I can't bother getting it out to show you, but you know the ones I mean. But I don't think I'll use that today. But what I may use is, what about one of these? These are like for your stencils, aren't they? I might just try one of them on edges. So I'll keep that out as well. So yeah, some different things you could smoosh your gel sticks with there. Never mind my menopausal shakes. Yeah, and if you just feel like you sometimes rubbing stuff in with my fingers, it's like nails on a blackboard to me. It puts my teeth on edge, if you know what I mean. So this can be quite good, having a little something like this, just to, you do have to work with it. Like I left that drying a little bit. It is easier if you get straight in there, but I kind of like this, the idea of leaving a little bit of white today showing through, you know. I think that'll be quite nice. Oh, just different. Sometimes you just need to do something different, don't you? I watched Geordie, Joe at Geordie Colours in bed this morning. And she were doing the same. She'd got a, I don't even know what they're called. Is it water brush markers? And you know something? I realised I've got some of them. But I've from years ago. I think I bought a pack when I got my first, when I got World of Flowers. I think somebody bought me World of Flowers maybe about 5 years ago, and I didn't really touch it, and I didn't really pick up colouring or get into it, but I've kept them to one side, and I thought they were like kiddie felt tips for Everly, but actually I'll maybe give them a go. Anyway, so that works using the thing. I'll do some more and try that. All right, Rocket, he's just drying off in his crate. Just been up muddy field with him. So to contain him, he's in his crate. Don't often end up in his, we call it the penitentiary. He goes in there as well when I'm mopping floors, because Rocket is traumatized by anything to do with cleaning floors. So the Hoover, the mop, the quickie mop, the sweeping brush, all of which I use on a daily basis. Because obviously when you've got a dog, an active dog that's outside a lot, you do a lot of floor cleaning. So he's just whining because he can hear me talking. But he's only been in there since I started recording. But he does like to have a good whinge sometimes. So let's see how this fares. Oh, it feels nice. Oh, and it does move, and it kind of grips on more than the oh, I like it. Oh, I really like it. These are good with gel sticks. Yeah, I would recommend them. I really like how it feels. It's really picking it up and moving it. It's grabbing onto it and moving it more easily. I mean, these are fine. Absolutely fine. So you don't have to go to this expensive getting these, although they're quite cheap. This is fine too, but it just feels better with this, I have to say. So yes, oh, I like this method. I might go in and add more layers, but I'm really happy with how that's looking so far. And how quick is that? Let's give him a little bit of darkness. What colour nose would you think this lovely rabbit would have? I wonder if I should just give him a shocking pink nose at the end. I'm going to wait. I've got a little bee here. Just noticed this bee. What's that? I'm just going to... might have to put my specs on. I don't know. It's a bit... that is a bee reading a book. That's a bee reading a book. I know, I've got to get my glasses. It is, I know. That's Fantastic. Fantastic. Right, so let's get some colour. I think I'd just like to keep the inside of this hat, maybe keep it in the realms of grey or black. Just going to go around there. I'll use my thing to push that out. I'm going to add some black as well into the more shaded area. I'm just checking I'm recording still because, you know, I've got the memory span of a goldfish in my late 40s apparently. Just skirting round that bee. Where's the black? That's a nice dark brown iron. That's a good, I remember using that a bit on that last one. Let's just go in with the black for this. Oh gosh, I'm having so much fun already. This has done me world of good before starting that more, you know, taxing page. Only problem is now I'm going to have to turn this sponge over. I'll give it a wipe because I've got black on it now. I suppose I could keep one for light colours and one for dark colours. That's not a bad idea. So I'm just trying to see what it's like if I just wipe it off on something damp. If that clears it a little bit, but you can just like turn around your thingy. All right. Yep. So far so good. And then I fancy a dark brown for this hat. I know it would be a black top hat, but I don't want to do black. I'd really love to do this deep navy colour, which again is in the realms of this blue here. Now, I haven't really asked myself how this is going to work over such a large expanse of black. How do I approach this then? Slightly lighter blue. I'm going to take the one that's just called blue. I suppose I could have used white as well. I'm going to see what effect I get. I'm going to keep that on the black side actually. I'm going to see what kind of effect I get just pulling this out. Try not to let it dry too much. Might have to go over the whole black, you see. I'm not going to worry about if I, you know, like I just went on his paw there. I think you can't worry about stuff like that when you're using these. It's going to happen. Ah, that's not bad. That isn't bad at all, actually. I like it. I think I'd like a little more of that blue, actually. Deep navy. On these bits, as it's getting towards the black, it would be a little darker, wouldn't it? I'm just getting a bit closer to his paw. It's so helpful when you get, you know, shading as part of the illustration. I think I'd like to take that over there as well. So yeah, what were I talking about? Oh, I can't remember. I am feeling super positive going into March. Just this, you may know that I cancelled the buddies that I had in because I'm just looking for a bit of free time to just colour on a whim. won't go on about it because I went on about it in a video already. But I'm super excited to be stepping into March with no plans whatsoever. I do actually have plans, but they're not plans that I can't change my mind on. And I've got a normal plans video to film to tell you what I'm thinking, and for you to sort of respond and tell me what your plans are as well. I'm loving this. I'm going to go straight into this bit with this deep navy. But yeah, I'm feeling really, really excited. Somebody gifted me something really special that I'm going to show you in a haul next month. And I can't wait to, anytime anybody gives me anything, one, they don't need to, but two, I really, really, really appreciate it, because when somebody thinks of you, there's nothing that says I think you're lovely more than somebody thinking of you and giving you a little gift, big, large or small. I love that. I love them. I love letters as well, and cards. I've said this before. I wish we were still living in times of pen pals. But anyway, I've received this beautiful gift. It's actually one of my Holy Grail books. It's the kind of last definite Holy Grail book. But as you will know yourself, once you've got that Holy Grail book, there'll be another book that you're after. I'd really like Vintage My Room, and I have a copy to raffle for Colouring for Cancer, donated by the lovely Wendy of Wendy's Colouring. So I would have loved to have had a ticket, but I'm not sure it's appropriate to have a ticket in my own raffle, so I won't. But I'm so excited for somebody who's gonna, because I know a few people covet that book. I know Jess at Colouring Bumblebee is coveting that book. So she'll probably have some tickets in that raffle, no doubt. And I am going to do it separate. It's going to be used to bump up the amount that we've raised so far. So I'll figure out a way of doing that. And I'll tell you about it towards the end of the month, because like I say, I'm going to use it to bump up what we already have. So that will be, I think 5th of March is when we're going to close down empty the pot and send it to the World Cancer Research Fund. Right, so I'm going to move on to this hat. I might go in and add more layers right throughout the image, but I'm going to just do some basics to start with. So I fancy like a straw hat. Now I might not have the perfect colour for that, but I think I will start with, I might start actually with number 8 in the Bible highlighters. Looks to be, according to my swatch, like it might be good. Yes, I like it a lot. So let's go in with a little bit of this. I'm going to use some white. Not use the white yet, I don't think. A little white there. Bible highlighter, and then I'm going to get in the little nook and cranny with, I think the best colour will be this metallic gold actually, which reminds me of my holiday in Menorca last year with my husband. Right, he got out there, we didn't pack hats, so we had to buy a hat immediately because it was so hot, and he were trying them on in this shop. And the style of hat really suited him. So after he tried loads on his eyes, it said, yeah, that looks the best. So he bought that hat. And then when we got out in sunshine outside the shop, I noticed it were glinting. It were glinting in sunlight. And it had a gold thread running through it. And I think, when I come to think of it, I think it might have been a woman's hat. And I never told him the whole holiday, and he absolutely loved the hat, loved it. It just fit him nice and everything. And we didn't go for like super cheap hats. It was quite a nice shop we went in. But I think it was a woman's hat. But you could only see this gold thread when we were outside. So of course when we were outside it was on his head, so he never realised. And he loved it as well. And the shame is when I told him once we got home and he put it on in garden, and we were laughing, I decided to tell him. He didn't want to wear it anymore then, when he realised that it had a fancy gold thread running through it, which is so silly. But yeah, this just reminds me of that. I loved Menorca. It was beautiful. First time I've been to that island. I have been to Formentera quite a lot in the Balearic Islands. That's off the coast of Ibiza. You can't get to it by plane. You have to take a boat out. And that, if you're looking for somewhere in the Balearics where there's not a lot of other English tourists, Formentera is brilliant. There's quite a few Germans and Spanish, but not too many English people. Not that there's anything wrong with English, but if you're somebody who likes to go somewhere in the Med that doesn't have lots of English bars, because I like to go and I want to see Spanish things and Iberican things and Mediterranean things. I don't want to see too much English restaurants because I've got that over here. So it's not a snobbery, it's just I live for my holidays. I want to go and sample a different culture when I go on holiday, me. So yeah, I highly recommend. In fact, I shouldn't tell anybody about it. It's rubbish, is Formentera. Don't go, you won't like it. Formentera, beautiful. And it's only, you can cycle the whole island, it's only tiny. When I first started going, it was actually the late 90s, and I went with my mum, just me and her. And it was, because my dad's never flown. My dad's passed, but when he were alive, he's never been out of the country, sadly. And my mum was a sun worshipper, and she loved travel. So it's a shame, really, because I think my dad kind of, not intentionally, he can't help how he feels about flying. Well, it wasn't actually flying. He just didn't like being out of his comfort zone. He don't like different food. He would have got upset and frustrated with menu. Do you know what I mean? So my mum used to take herself off on holiday, and when I were old enough, when I were an adult as well, we used to go on girly holidays. It was lovely, and I first discovered Formentera with my mum, and it's such a beautiful place. And when we started going, there were hardly any cars on the island because, you could cycle around the island. There were loads of mopeds and stuff, but now it's, and it used to be that you couldn't build a hotel with more than like 3 stories, so it kept it very sort of local and small and authentic. Now there's a couple of larger hotels, which is a shame, but it is what it is, isn't it? Things have to move on, I guess, to survive. I want a little bit more of this fancy gold. Quite like it. I'm having loads of fun. Just brilliant. Love these gel sticks. So yeah, I would encourage you to have a go if you've got them. And you just pick a page in a Camilla book. If you've got, loads of people have got Camilla books, or if you've got a grayscale book. Because even though I'm doing like I'm doing a little bit of shading now, that's what you could call it, I suppose. But I'm relying on the print of the image. But I'm absolutely loving it. He's whining to go out, is Rocket. You've just been out for your big run. So far, so good. I am loving this. What band shall we have this? Maybe like light brown. Bit of light brown into metallic copper. Here we go. Into a little metallic copper. Fabulous. I think I'll have a bit of dark brown as well. Yeah, these are just so much fun. So much fun. Now, I'm going to take a risk here. I'm going to see what this, I've been wiping it off damp. How much blue is left on there? Is it enough to bother me? I might not have risked it with other colours because, but I use blue for my shading colour a lot anyway. The problem is it's taking away the brown. So I'll switch it over. Probably want to add a bit more. Yeah, Formentera, wonderful place. In the Mediterranean. Don't know how many of you guys in America or in the continent or Australia have ever done the Med, but it is a beautiful place in the world. It surely is. I'm not worried about these little bits where I've gone over. Oops. I'll sort the cells out later. Right, the fez. I think fezzes are normally, well, I see them as red, I think. Most films and things when I see a fez are red, but I think I'd like to stay on the side of the oranges. So I might go for, I'm going to take some of that light brown. How bright is this orange? How bright is this orange? I love the way some of you guys in the US say orange. I've noticed it with Holly. She goes, orange, orange, orange. That's probably not exactly how it sounds, but I'll try a bit of pale vermilion. That leans a little bit orange, doesn't it, sometimes? Yes, indeedy. That is what I needed. A little bit of pale vermilion. Oops. Steady on now, Joe. Don't get too wild. What about in the centre? Bit of Naples yellow. I love that they've got the colours on as well and a little code number. Yes. So yes, I've been feeling much more positive about things, and I'm so excited. I didn't know whether this March of the Dragons was a thing that, is it always dragons in March? I was asking Holly and she said, no, I don't think it's specifically always hot. You know, it's not an annual thing. It's just something that Vera's come up with, the March of the Dragons hashtag, which is fantastic. So I've got plenty of things, plenty of options for doing dragons. So I was pleased to have that as an option for March. I definitely want to have a look through some dragon pages. Pick one or two out that I might want to do in March. But most of all, just being able to colour anything I want when I want on a whim. It's just super appealing to me. I think I'll do that with something other than gel sticks because it's quite thin. Ooh. Oh, I thought I've just heard something coming through a letterbox, but it definitely sounds like bills rather than anything exciting. So that can wait. Right, let's go back to some blues for this one. Now, I don't know what kind of hat it is. To me, it looks like a train steward's hat or something like that. I'm going to use the pale turquoise on this one. Love this colour. I've got a real fancy for anything that's kind of what I call a mariney blue. So that has kind of like a mariney vibe to it. So there's Deep Sea in Chroma Flow. I love the iron blue. Is it in Ink Tense? Not sure whether that'd be a gold band. I'm not sure. We're just gonna wing it. Wing it, Joe. Yeah, I do like a marine blue. I want something a little darker than that. The deep navy is quite nice with this blue. I just want to add that under there to give it a little bit more shadow. And obviously, if you're not big on, you know, little light source stuff yet, you can look where the illustrator's shaded when they give you all this extra shading. I guess that's why people enjoy grayscale, isn't it? I don't know why, because this is why I don't do more grayscale, because this is not, it's not dissimilar. These bits I'm not going to worry about. I'm going to hopefully find something that I can go over to sharpen that. You know, like my little gold metallic pens or something like that. Get my little stubby nubbins. Stubby nubbins. That's my finger ends. Yeah, I do like this little tool for it. Just lost a bit of the turquoisiness because I've pulled too much of that deep navy into it, unfortunately. But it's unpredictable. That's what I kind of like about it. So sometimes you just have to accept what it does. I think I'd like it even darker. I'm going to add a little bit of black. It's good because I can put it there, which isn't right up to the line, but it'll push it in, look. I do think it take the sponge soaks some of it up as well, so you have to be a bit more liberal, but it will push it around, this little tool. I'd like some of these. I've seen them somewhere and I don't know where I've seen them before it passed, but they come to a tapered point on the end, but you know, like a cone shape on the end. But I don't know where I've seen them. Don't know what colour I would do that band. Maybe silver, actually. Maybe silver. My husband worked away all last week, Monday to Friday, and I really missed him. I miss him anytime, even if he's away for one night. So we've had a nice weekend together. We had a lovely day and night yesterday, but he's away again for another 3 nights now. And it's not a problem because, you know, that's how he supports me at the moment, and he does enjoy his job, so it don't, apart from missing home, it don't upset him to be away working, really, because he likes his job. But yeah, it's thank God I've got you guys. That's all I can say. It really has made the world a difference, because I'm not too good at being alone with my own thoughts. I'm not working at the moment for a reason. It's because I need to get my head bloody straight. I think I'm suffering with a great amount of, I think I'm dealing with grief that I've not dealt with. And, you know, I could work, but I think I just need to take the time. I say I could work. I couldn't do what I was doing before, because it was too much high pressure. And I've got my palpitation issue that I think's brought on by some sort of anxiety. I've no idea. It could all just be menopause. But anyway, having you guys has just made all the difference, because I can go on a live on a night and I feel like I've got company when my husband's not here. I can go on a live, just be in the chat and feel like I've got company. I don't mind, I like putting a film on and stuff, but if I'm not occupied and I'm left to think too much, that is not good for me to think too much. I tend to be I worry too much about everything, and I was never like that. I was somebody who was a bit wild, actually. So yeah, anyway, I'm just right glad to have you, put it that way. And when you chat back in comments, it's lovely. I've described it in one of my videos recently, and it's the best way I've ever described it, I think, for me. It's like going into your local pub. So pubs in the UK, not so much these days, but they were always very community places. You went in local pub and you knew people. So to me, it's like being in comments under my videos. I see the same people supporting me and commenting and enjoying the videos. So it's like walking into my local pub and seeing the same faces. It's a lovely thing. And I love it. I love that shadow that I've just created there with that black. See that? That's nice, isn't it? So I'm not like mentally unhinged or anything weird. I think a lot of grief when my mum's passing, and then my dad. I think it's just caught up with me. And then realising I'm 50 next year, I don't have kids. That's not a thing that's going to happen for me. And then I think of how my mum and dad were both taken quite quickly and unexpectedly, particularly my mum. And then I think, I'm only 13 years younger now than she was when she passed. And when she was my age, she'd already had multiple heart attacks and strokes. And then she had a period where she was healthy for a few, for about 10, 15 years. And then boom, she had this aneurysm. Anyway, I've mentioned it before, so I won't go into it and bore you. But, it's just left me with a little bit of, now, health anxiety, I think. Because at the moment, I've got pains, not painful pains, but like discomfort, weird twangs in the back of my right leg. And for me, that means I've got a blood clot. So I'm laid there at night when I've left to my own devices, my husband's asleep, and I'm thinking, what if it's a blood clot? What if I'm going to have an aneurysm? Absolutely ridiculous. And in cold light of day like now, I know how ridiculous and stupid and irrational that is. But when you're left in the middle at night, when you're left to your own thoughts. So I'm suffering with a bit of insomnia as well. I find myself awake at all hours thinking. So anyway, that's not what this conversation's about. This is just about me telling you how valuable you are to me and my mental health, basically. YouTube has been fantastic for that. And it's fantastic because there's humans as part of it. It's not YouTube, the app. It's you guys that make it what it is. So yeah, you're amazing. I'm so grateful for you. I am very grateful indeed. And I love that we don't have no shade on anybody who does and make money from YouTube, but it was never going to be for me that. I'm gonna for March, I'm gonna try being monetized. So if YouTube want to pay me anything they can, it'll come in handy. Let's face it, I'm not working, but it's never going to be a thing that I want to do, is to take money from you guys. In form of membership or anything like that. That's never something I want to do, because what means more to me is your friendship, and I would find it hard. And I'm making genuine friendships doing this, genuine friendships. I feel they are anyway. Some people I think about what's just going on in their life, and I care. and to me, that's just that's friendship, isn't it? So, I can't have a friendship if there's money involved. I mean, don't get me wrong, me and my best mate, we've always bailed each other out with money through life. We've always bailed each other out now and again. She's bailed me out more times than I've bailed her out, like. But when it comes to friendships, you know, not like your bestie or not like your family. It's not. I don't want money involved in that. So for me, if I were charging a membership, this is why it don't work for me. We're not really. How can we really be friends if I'm charging you? We're not really friends, are we? And you might say, well, we're not really friends anyway. Well, that's not everybody is, but I've got some friends out of this, you know, people that I talk to about stuff other than colouring. Yeah, and if there's money involved, I don't see how it's not, I don't know. I just don't like that. For me, it wouldn't work for me. I don't want to feel like I owe anybody anything. I don't want anybody to feel like they owe me anything. Anything I've got to give. Nothing's worth paying for anyway, what I've got to give, but certainly, look at how much fun I'm just having, yabbering on and just playing with these sticks of colour. So yeah, anyway, that's all I've got to say on that. I would be a member of a channel, you know, so I'm not against it. You know, like if it was somebody, I used to pay a Patreon at Gardening World because I really liked the girls' content. So I'm not, you know, I'm not anti that at all. It's just not something I want to do as a creator. It won't work for me. Kind of like what I did there with that little bit of shade, light. I'm just going to put that back in like that. Might give it a gold edge with me. Yeah, it's quite, the one thing I would say about this tool is it does really pick it up and take it around, so you can take it off too much, if you know what I mean. But I'm happy with that. Don't you think this is going well? I think it's going cracking. Right, what about this bottom hat then? What about this bottom hat? I think I want a little bit more black on this in areas. Maybe just outside of that. It gets a little bit, I'm looking where he's got his lines a bit, you know, his cross-hatching a bit closer together. This is brill. I hope it don't end up being too long a video. I feel very chilled, so I'm not rushing. So it could be longer than what I anticipated. I think the way I've got that looks great. Well done, Jo. Well done, lass. Looks fab. Looks alright, does that cock. Looks alright, does that cock. That is, by the way, a term of endearment in Yorkshire. Right then, on to this next hat. Ooh, I'm loving it. Right. I'm feeling I want to go a bit lighter with this, but there's quite a lot of shading on it. Let's see how I feel about a bit of... It's like a straw hat, isn't it? It's certainly, because it's fraying at the edge here. I'll go with a bit of Naples yellow in the lightest areas. What about this? This is a tan colour, so I guess this is what the nearest you've got to skin colour. In the KingArt, in the KingArt ones. Just thought I'd try it. What would happen if I put some of this really bright yellow lemon? Why not? smooshing it all in. Smoosh, smoosh. Need to check on Rocket because he's awfully quiet. Slightly concerned. So I haven't used too many different colours yet, have I? Back in here with this pale vermilion, little pale vermilion orange combo into some like tans and yellows. Just because why not? And I should really. You have to think about, this is a bit like working with ink tints. You have to think about what colour you're dragging into what. So if I started here and dragged the red in, most of it would end up quite orange, wouldn't it? But I want to keep this edge quite light, so I'm going to drag from light to dark, which is how I tend to use ink tints when I use ink tints. I left that sat on there a little bit too long while I checked on Rocket, but just put my heavy-handed finger on it. That should work. Oops, he's got very orange fur there at the edge. I'm going to use some white gel pen because you know that's my favourite go-to to finish off many pages. Love a bit of the old white gel pen action towards the end. Oh, love this. Really, really love it. Fab. Now what about this scarf that we've got wrapped around? I would like to go back to I think I'd like to go quite a bit. Oh, what about a bit of the old metallic blue? Why not? This cat's a little bit fancy. Do I want to think how am I going to do this? Right, I know what we're going to do to start with. Just going to get some on. Yep, hope I'm still in shot. I think I am. Might be just a little bit towards the bottom of the screen. So let's start with a bit of that. We'll put a bit of dark in these areas. This is the darker blue. I mean, I've got no sharp end on that to sort of aim it aim it in any little nook or cranny. Let's go for that. Go with that for now. So yeah, it can be quite crumbly, but it feels just like lipstick. I haven't gone on too much about these because of that first video that I made with the gel sticks. I talked a lot more about them. But yeah, they're just like feel like a lipstick or a lip balm. More like a lipstick. All right, Rocket. Oi, knock it off, lad. Coming in. I'm trying to get him to understand that birds are not the enemy. Right, so now I like that, but I want to definitely add some more depth. And I also want to I'm going to see how much I can sort of take away from the top edge because I want that to be lighter, so I might add some white there. And I want to add some dark in the darker bits, so get right in there with that black again. Let's have some running under the peak of this cap as well, because that'd cast a little shadow, wouldn't it? Then we're going to have some shadow in that crease, maybe round there. And then we have some little bits of creases down there, and just above the rim of the hat. Now we know already that we take quite a lot of it off, don't we? So I think I've been quite liberal there. Is liberal the right word? So yeah, I've been quite generous with the amount I've put on there, because I love, see that depth and contrast we've got there now. It looks like a big thick black mark, but it does, you know, it moves. It moves. Something I didn't do last time, I didn't feel like I had to, because this does dry. I'll leave it open overnight and it will dry, and I might come back tomorrow actually and do which is I think what I did last time. Did I do the gel pen finishing touch? I might not even need to, no, I will need to do something. But I think I might also try spraying it with my fixative, maybe. We'll see. See, that can be my downfall. See what I did there? There were a clump, there were a big crumb of blue, and I should have picked it off. But I was too lazy, so I just smooshed it in, and it's too much. That's me all over that. That's how I make my biggest colouring mistakes, is laziness sometimes. Ooh. So I feel like there's too much blue on there now, but I have to live with it. I'll end up with green there if I'm not careful with blue and yellow together, won't I? And then I think I'll just run a bit of white across that top edge. Say it's white. It's don't look very white now. So I'll clean that up a little bit on my rag. So this looks a bit scruffy down this side. I'm perfectly happy with everywhere else on here, apart from this bit of this scarf that hangs down, but I will clean it up in finishing stage, do not worry. I'm super confident that that will clean up lovely. All right then, so I think at this point I'd like to move on to the pussycat. I want to turn this round again, so I'm on the orange side. Right, let's have a think. I think the cat, I want to be in the realms of this colour, so I'm gonna have some white bits. Let's get some white bits on his highlighted areas, maybe. Some Naples yellow. I want to get close to them glasses, but again I'll probably use gel pens just to put the glasses in, because I'll put the lenses in with gel sticks, but I want to use gel pens, I think, for, I'm kind of going up to the bits that are decided to do white, or to have a little bit of white in them, but I'm leaving a little gap where I think the white is, although I can't see it. Not worrying about the whiskers at the moment. Just turned that and a little bit of that bright orange landed on his chin. Must have got a crumb of that bright orange from round here, and do you know what? I kind of like it. So I think I'm going to intentionally, I think it's the pale vermilion actually. Maybe I'll go with the orange again, just a little bit in certain places. I like that. Oh, he's a lovely ginger cat. I think he's a very, I think this guy is a very extravagant, eccentric ginger Tom with bags of style. Oops, that's red. Let's put that on. And Joe, well, you absolute banana. What are you like? Let's not concentrate in that. Too busy having fun. I do enjoy a little bit of this vermilion on his chin there. Yes, I do. And I think I'm going to definitely add a little bit of this gold, just for a little shimmer. Why not? A little bit on the chin. Definitely around there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Right, where's my doodah? Here we go. Just make sure I have got some white there. Yeah, I love it. I love it. This, I'm so glad I decided to do this today. I'm looking forward to that other page that I'm going to start. So I'll start that this afternoon. But to have this buddy done and off my list, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I'm saying I've enjoyed it. I haven't finished it yet, but you know what I mean. I can tell it's going to be successful in terms of how happy I've been doing it. And really, is there any other measure of success that matters? I don't think so. Because I'll put some white gel pen through them as well to sort of just add some extra fluff. Love it. And what colour shall I do? His lenses. I think I'm going to go dark navy into black. So the dark navy in the lightest part of the lens. So you can see where his cross hatching there was a little bit wider. So showing a bit more light into black, I think. And then I'll probably go over top and add a little bit of white. I'm turning this round again. It's lovely using a limited palette. I do it a lot more these very recently. I've got into, pretty much sticking with just 2 or 3 colours. I do think 3 is better than 2. I think it's nice to have. Some people say there's a percentage of how much colours you should use on each, don't they? But I don't like it to become like a blooming boring maths lesson. But I just think if 2 main colours and an accent colour is always going to be a winner. And I apply that anywhere when I'm decorating as well in my home, with interior design. Because we're all interior designers ourselves, aren't we? We just don't earn money from it, but we have to make our own choices in our own homes. So, a little bit of white. Oh, I'm so enjoying this. I'm going to remove that clump if I can now. It's just going to get smushed in then. Love it. I hope you're going to have a go, guys. Please, will you have a go with your gel sticks? If you sat on them and you haven't been using them, just have some fun. Why not do this page if you've got the ink house? Do anything. He's got a white shirt on now. I want to be a bit careful there. Well, I don't know what colour his shirt is. It's up to me, isn't it? Pale blue would be nice, wouldn't it? Bit of pale blue into white, I think. So we'll have the colour as the shadow. Underneath the collar. Then I'll add some white, which I need to clean off first. Wonderful. Do you know what I'm going to do as well? I'm going to add a bit of silver in that shadow, just to drag it about a bit. Should have used a clean sponge, really. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, but I did prefer it when it was whiter and crisper. But I just added that silver in on a whim. And you're either going to like it or you're not. Maybe just a touch of brighter blue. Not sure I want to add too much more, actually, in terms of just the colouring aspect, because I quite like where it's at. Just want to give a little bit more to the rabbit. It's beautifully illustrated rabbit, that. Beautiful illustrator is this Rory Dobner. I must check out what else he's done. And I think probably a wise bit of advice is at this point in your colouring, if you've been blending, just make sure that if you want a clear bit of colour, you wipe off your edge of your stick a little bit. So I'm just adding a little bit more of that silver. But I just wiped it off in case it had any other bits in it. Oh, a bit crumby there, a bit too many crumbs, Joe. Go steady now, don't be ruining it at last hurdle. And use your fingers, because you know that's too blue on your sponge. Right then, I will come back. Oh no, I need to do this background area. Yes, definitely. Let's crack on with that. So I feel like what I want to do is I want to just do a little faded out thing predominantly with this coppery colour that I really like. So yes, I really like this metallic copper colour, which is this colour. I don't know if you can see it shimmering. And the gold. I feel like the gold and the copper, just, and keep quite free with it. Metallic gold, Naples yellow. I might have a few bright splotches of this lemon. What do you think? I can't hear you answering me back. Let's just go for it. I'm going to try some gold. Sorry, some bronze into the gold. Try it in one area first because I'm working into the Naples yellow. And then into this bright lemon. Why not? Happiness in the colour. Let's see what schmooching can be done. Straight away I've decided I want a clean thing for this. I've got some oval-ended ones as well, but I quite like this pointed version. And I could be using my water brushes, couldn't I, for this? But I'm going to see what happens just with these. I want to try and get it. Oh, see, it's quite, got to work quite quickly. I thought that'd smoosh in a bit more, but I can always add more. Let's get that close. Might just go a little bit quieter when I'm concentrating. I've noticed I tend to go a little bit quiet when I'm recording a video. Can't be helped, I'm afraid. I just forget what I'm doing, especially if I'm having a good time. Forget that I'm filming. Smoosh, smoosh about this house. I like it. I like it. What I don't like is how the gold hasn't moved as much, but easily remedied. Let's add more quickly. Oops, I'm losing my end. That's better, I think. You can just build up layers, can't you, if you want? I really like this. Ooh, this bright lemon towards the edge. Problem now is I've got this sharp edge here, but I'll just have to work hard to blend it. That's all, as I work my way around the illustration. I don't mind that. I have a little bit of a thing for things that look like plaster walling or stucco, as you might call it in the US. Gold. Does everybody have to feel like they've got to do that when they say gold? Because it's gold member film. I am enjoying this so much. Don't know if this is going to be a good idea or a bad idea, but I think it's definitely a trust the process moment and wait until it's finished before we make any judgments. Yeah. Sometimes you may know, if you've watched me before, that I can be a bit heavy-handed. So sometimes today I've been taking it off rather than smooshing it around, you know, really pressing a little too hard. Still learning. Just a beginner. It's only the second time I've used these. But my videos are always meant to encourage you to have a go. They're not to show you how to do it, because I don't know what I'm doing myself, sorry. I don't know what I'm doing myself. Trying to make a bit more of an effort to speak a bit more clearly, because I'm aware that quite a lot of you have no idea what I'm saying sometimes. So I catch myself using everyday words for a Yorkshire lass. Definitely a dialect thing rather than proper English. There we go. Oops. Yeah, I love that. I love this. Not a lot of people would like it, I don't think, but I like it when it's a little bit patchy, like I say, like rustic stucco. I think it's going to look fab at the end, or it won't. Lemons just are so summery, aren't they? Love that. Do you like limoncello? Liqueur. Yummy. Yeah, I don't know what I'm faffing about them for. I just needed to get in with my fingers. Sometimes your fingers are just best for, you know, for squishing a big blob if you've got a blob. It's quite windy here today. I keep hearing things in front garden, which is just to the left of me. I might fast forward this bit. In fact, that's a good idea, isn't it? My hands are that mucky now I can't touch out. Trying to find a finger that I've not got too much colour on. Well, I am absolutely chuffed to bits. I've had bags of fun. I like my background. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, because a lot of people feel it needs to be more like smoothed out, but I kind of like it. Maybe it just needs diffusing a little more, you know, in some areas. But I kind of like it just the way it is, frankly. But you can carry on building more layers and more layers and more layers, and you know, that'd be great, wouldn't it? I could sit here for hours doing this quite happily. I think in some areas as well I could have done with it being a bit heavier on the copper. What can I say? It's my special Joe technique, is this. This is what I'm going to call it. See, when you get relaxed and start playing and get creative, you can, you know, just let yourself go. You might enjoy what you come up with, you might not. Others might not, but that definitely doesn't matter what others like. It's just about what you like. I love it. I love this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let it dry a little, and then I'm going to add my finishing touches. So I'm going to put his whiskers back in and a bit of fluff around his thingy. I'm going to finish his glasses, this little tassel, maybe the bow tie, and this little bumblebee, and then we'll be done. And that's a pretty quick page done. And I had loads and loads of fun. So that's where we're up to. Can't see really the colour of that copper because it's so shiny at the moment, but it's quite, you see, I love it, I love it, love it, love it. It's now a good few hours later, and I've let this sort of dry a little bit, and I give it a spray with my Winsor & Newton workable fixative. I've got a gold gel pen. I could use my Kuretake Gold Ink, that'd be lovely, but I'm going to do some splashes around the outside with that instead. And I've made myself a little, this is just, I've reused a bit of tracing paper that I used for a previous project. So I've cut around that. I'm just going to keep that in place, and then I'm going to splatter, you know, with the brush, just like... Oh, don't need to use that finger, that's rather rude. Yeah, you know, with the brush. Yeah, the brush is here, Joanne. You know, do this sort of thing with the gold ink, I think, afterwards. But for now, I'm going to do a little bit of simple gel pen work. Got a little post-it note there ready to get it working on. And I just thought, I need my glasses. I just thought this would be the easiest way to apply some gold, and I think these Uniball Signo metallic pens are quite good actually. So I've edited the first part of the video, so I reckon when I've done this, the whole page will have been about 2 hours. So the video is longer than I wanted it to be for you guys, but the last one was 1 hour and 44 minutes, and that was all right. This will be about the same, I think. So the rabbit's got his little monocle on. Got my micron pens as well, because I'm going to put his whiskers back in, so I'll use those if they work. So this gold's going on all right anyway. And it feels just like normal paper there. Where I can feel the gel pen a little bit more rougher is just round the edges where I've applied it more thickly, I guess. So I'm going to do parts of this bee in gold as well. You'll hardly see this bee, I'm afraid. Could use the lighter yellow. I'll put some legs in and whatnot. Then I think I will also use some gold on this fez tassel. I think that's what the official term would be. The fez tassel. I've really enjoyed this, and I've not started on the other page yet, but I'm going to be a lot happier when I get to it, because after that page is done, I have got one more page, one more body left to do before the end of the month. And I think, oh, it's a yoga lady in Mindful Moments by Emily O'Neill. There is a lady doing some yoga. That is my last buddy of the month. And then I also have the TLC page, the freebie from RJ for Colouring for Cancer to do, but I may do that as part of my roundup video where we talk about how it all went once it's all finished. The charity initiative, I mean. And I'm just going to go around the specs in gold metallic pen as well. I thought about using my glaze pen on them, on the lenses, to give them like a shine. I wonder if it'd work. It's only had a light layer of workable fixative, you see. Don't want to ruin it at the last stretch. But it would be pretty good if I could get some glaze pen on there. I think I'll leave it. So yeah, I'm going to add some white gel pen to his fur, just to the edges, maybe on the rabbit as well. Got to put his whiskers back in with my micron pen. And that should be it. I'm not going to go crazy on gel pen because it does not need it. Not taking out any line work or anything drastic like that. This is my favourite one, the Panda Fly, but it's a 1 size, which is nice and fat and juicy. And this is a 10, which you think would be same size, but it's a bit thinner. I've got a 5 and an 8 as well in these jelly rolls. But this one I can use in a more, I would say, sketchily way, shall we say. I always feel like I can just feather it a touch more, this one. And that's all I want to do along here. Nothing more than that, really. Concentrating so I'm quiet again. I'm well aware that most people put me on. I think most people listen rather than watch, and they do so because I think my voice is like white noise or something. I'm not really sure, to be honest, why people watch or listen, but I appreciate it. Just a little bit of the same fluffiness. I'm glad I put the workable fixative on because they are wax soluble, so wax can be a little bit hard to get other surfaces to work on top of it, can't it, sometimes? There we go. So that's the rabbit. Doesn't need any more than that. I'll sort that eye out. Don't worry. Just going to have very few dots along the edge of this rope on this tassel. Guaranteed I always put my hand in some gel pen that's still wet. Always. I think that's as much as I really want to do. I need a fine pen. Let's try 0.3 for whiskers. That might do. So by the way, this says sometimes one just isn't enough. I agree. So let's have a look. Let's try and stick to what Camilla's done here. Don't quite have the steadiest hand for this. Just hitting a bit of wax resistance there. Which is to be expected. I think that will do. I wanted to add a little bit of colour on the noses, didn't I? Just grabbed a little Prismacolor. See if I can. Not really easy to colour on top of. Depends how thick it is that you've put it on, I suppose. There we go. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm really pleased with it. No, I'm not going to leave it at that. I've got my splashes to do. But this is the final step now. Glue tack just to hold this in place so it doesn't blow away when I'm wafting my brush around. Oops, I've got to be careful. I've just done white gel pen, haven't I? See, forgetting already. Well, I'm going to make a right mess here. Could do with a wet cloth. I'll put you over there. A wet wipe, because I'm going to get it all over my cabinets. All over my desk. So I'll want to clean it up pretty quick after. So this is Brilliant Gold Ink Gold Mica from Kuretake. Water-based pigment. Don't know what it's going to go like. But just thought it'd give a little bit of something extra in the background. And I'm not going to overcomplicate things. I'm just going to go straight in. Oh my lord, I'm so nervous. And oh gosh. Let's wipe a little bit off, Joe. Oh no, I want to go a bit more daring now. Oh my god, it's all over my books. that'll do. Right, I need to get that cleaned. Quick, sharp. So this is my finished page, and I'm absolutely over the moon with it. I've got a little bit of gold on that other page. I'm not even bothered. The copper does appear paler when the light is shining on it like that, you see. And I think it looks better when it's not actually shining. So I like it like this. I like it always, to be honest. I love the ink. That's probably still drying. And I think I could have left some of his monocle maybe black, so it stood out a bit more. But I'm not bothered now. I'm really, really pleased with it. So I'll just show you it a little bit closer up. So no big shading requirements. Just a couple of different colours or values of gel stick. White gel pen at the end, which you saw me do. Ooh. Just remembered the B. But yeah, I love gel pens, a lot of fun. And this was, well, it's probably had about 3 or 4 minutes edited out of the actual colouring time on this video, so that tells you. And I spoke for about 20 minutes at the start, so that should tell you how long it took. 20 minutes off the length of this video. That's what it took in colouring time. I love it. I really, really do. Super pleased with it. It's one of my favourite pages this month. And you know, the splashy ink is a little bit juvenile. But we're supposed to be having fun, and that was a lot of fun. So I made a right mess of my desk, but nothing that wouldn't clean up. Oh, Mr. Rabbit. I love Rory Dobner's illustrating style. Gorgeous. Well, yeah, I'll leave it there. Guys and girls, if you have a book suitable for your gel sticks, you might have the Shuttle Art, you might have the KingArt like me, get them out. What are you messing about at? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? If you've got them and you've not used them, I've got some homework for you in the comments. Tell me what you're waiting for. Thanks again for watching. It's always lovely to do videos, and when you guys enjoy them, it's just even better. Just makes my day. So until next time, ta-ra for now.